The first item for rheumatologists is our rheumatology module. This is located in the Tools menu, then Rheumatology. Once we have loaded the rheumatology module, there are different scoring systems we can use. For instance, we can set sensitivity of different joints using the clicking on each of the joints, and the index is at the bottom right. This is for the DAS28 scoring system. We can go to the right, and we can enter different measurements into these fields. The DAS28 score appears at the bottom of the screen. I can go to BASDI scoring and set a level from 0 to 10 for most of these questions, and that will then calculate the BASDI score at the bottom of the screen. I can go to the ASDAS scoring system, and again, I can change my numbers to calculate that ASDAS score. Rapid 3, I can answer some questions in this Rapid 3 screen. And once I've completed all of the questions, it is going to calculate the cumulative Rapid 3 score, which you'll see at the bottom of the screen. If I go to SDI, again, I can set my scoring as I'd like. After generating a score, there are different Medicare forms you can print out by clicking the Select Form drop-down menu. I choose the form that I want, then I click Print Preview. The nice thing about this saves rheumatologists a lot of time because this is an official PBS form, and you will see that each bit of the patient information is already filled out on this form, including the demographic information. And if there was eligible scoring for this particular form, that scoring would also insert itself into this particular template. So I strongly recommend that rheumatologists on this call use the rheumatology module, especially if you're needing to print out any of the PBS forms. This will save you a lot of time. The next item I'd like to show are what we call pathology sets. This is where you may be requesting the same group of pathology tests for a certain condition. To create a pathology set, we first go to the pathology request window. We search for the first test we want to add to the set, for instance, FBC, and double-click. We keep searching for other tests, and we double-click when we find that particular test. Once we're happy with our list, we click the Sets drop-down menu, and we choose Save Set. We give this combination a name, and we choose OK. This saves that set for future use. If I cancel out of the screen and I go to my new pathology request window again, you will see that when I click my Sets drop-down, I can choose my standard screen. And that brings in those tests that I had previously saved as a set. I can easily go back to the left-hand side, scroll down, or search for additional tests to include for this patient. An underutilized feature in Genie is the tracking of individual pathology results. This means that when you receive a result for a specific test, you can see measurements over time for this particular test. Graphing the results over time is also available. To use this feature, we first need to select which tests to track. In our Maintenance and Reports window, we go to Track Individual Pathology Results. I've only got the one result file here, result type, but in your practice, you will have many more. We tick the ones that we wish to track, and then we close out of this window. Any new tests that come in that match that name, if it's for a patient, we can click this little chart button over here and choose the pathology test result to track. Here you can see there's this particular test over time. So the key thing, if you are looking at turning on the tracking of individual pathology results, is once you turn it on, Genie will then begin to track it. It doesn't have the ability to start tracking it in hindsight.